Hi, my name is Nellie Rhodes. I am a board member of Open FCPS Coalition. Thank you for coming out today. You will hear from a few of our group members and parents. At the end, we'll take questions, and here's Zia Tompkins.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Zia Tompkins. Today is a triumphant day for the parents, students, teachers, and everyone in Fairfax County. Today symbolizes the culmination of the collective efforts of dozens of volunteers and thousands of parents, all to send a clear message to the Fairfax County School Board that our community must return to the business of putting the education and the well-being of children first. Our group, the FCPS Accountability Coalition, is the first bipartisan, grassroots, volunteer organization in the country formed during this pandemic explicitly for the purpose of holding their school board accountable. Our team of volunteers have worked tirelessly to reach out to Fairfax County voters to gather their signatures. Today, we likewise lead the nation by achieving our first goal, obtaining sufficient signatures to go to court in the recall of Fairfax County board member Elaine Tholen. In a few moments, we will walk into court and submit the over 5,000 voter signatures to initiate Ms. Tholen's recall. Her recall is but the first, and our organization is committed to recalling further school board members in the future. Our mission from the inception of this effort has been and remains only to remove those school board members who have chosen to abdicate their responsibility to fight for our kids to be back in person, in the classroom where they belong. This school board, carrying out the bidding of the teachers' unions and for partisan political reasons, has chosen to willfully ignore science and the best practices of school board districts nationwide to stand in the way of our children's right to a free and suitable education. The Fairfax County School Board has broken the public's trust, and it showed us time and again that the best interests of students were not only not a priority, they weren't even a factor when weighed next to personal politics. As we parents have watched and listened to every school board meeting this year and this past summer, it has become increasingly clear that our school board is focused on a litany of issues, none of which pertain to actually educating our kids or getting them back to face-to-face learning. As a matter of fact, at the last 4 board meetings, they have continued to ignore the school closure emergency with a sudden disruption of school for special needs students, and furthermore, they have yet to present a detailed plan to the public that outlines what students and families can expect for the 2021-2022 school year. It is now July 19th, and we still do not have answers to the basics such as staffing. Will there be enough teachers? Screen time. Are students going to be taught virtually or by homebound teachers? Social distancing. To what degree are kids going to continue to be separated? Masks. Will kids as young as 1st and 2nd grades going to continue to be required to wear masks? How will this be enforced? Academics. Just how far behind are our students? How are these deficits going to be met? Even in something as simple as lunches, how are they going to be provided? The list goes on. Parents have been left in the dark about these issues and as such have real doubts as to whether the Fairfax County school system is even serious about opening up full-time in person for the fall, or simply posturing to safeguard their enrollment and maintain their funding. We remain skeptical and strongly urge parents to remain vigilant until the day those school doors actually open 5 days a week. The Fairfax County School Board spends hours in meetings, patting each other on the back, repeating talking points, and discussing geopolitical issues that have nothing to do with running the school system, while at the same time chastising concerned parents who simply demand at least the basics for their child's education. They cannot lead. They cannot formulate a plan. They cannot separate themselves from their personal ideological politics. And so, they have lost the confidence of the parents, students, and teachers of this county. Our group, sister organizations, and the thousands and thousands that have signed our petition agree that the kids and families of Fairfax County deserve better. They also agree that we can no longer sit by and hope that things will change on their own. They've had 18 months to get their act together, but instead have chosen to turn their back on their responsibilities and the kids to focus on their personal political agendas. Childhood is finite, and our kids can no longer wait for the next election cycle for accountability in 2024, and therefore we recall. Thank you.
My name is Sandra Davis. I'm a mother of 3 sons, 1 current FCPS student and 2 recent grads. I'm also a Democrat. I mention that to point out that my concerns are the concerns of many others who vote like me, and they have also signed this petition. Many have accused our group of being political, and this is false. Our group does not care about a political affiliation. But let me tell you what we do care about. We have watched the school board consistently place party politics, geopolitical issues, and other social justice projects ahead of their main duties, including the fact that our kids have lost conservatively 40% of the curriculum covered in a traditional school year. We care that it is now July 19th and we still don't have a concrete plan from this board as to what the day-to-day operation of the new school year will look like. We care only that our elected officials put the needs of all kids first. As I mentioned before, yes, I vote Democrat, but I'm a parent first, and the voice of parents in this school system have been ignored. In fact, one of the petition points out that the parent survey that was sent last summer by the school system, the results of that survey showed that roughly 60% of parents wanted some sort of in-person learning. The board summarily ignored the majority of parents, as well as all the leading medical experts, including the American Academy of Pediatrics and our local health department. I personally have been collecting signatures since fall 2020. It's been an honor to work on behalf of the kids and families of this county. I have many stories of people who've signed our petition, and I would like to share just one. I was standing at the Great Falls Library sometime last fall when a work truck pulled up and a man on his lunch break approached. Says, "I've been looking for you guys and I need to sign. I have to work, my wife's disabled, I have 2 elementary age school daughters, my wife is not computer literate. I turn on the computer when I leave in the morning and I pray, because if anything goes wrong, like the power out, their school day's over. And I still think about that family." This is just one example of the suffering that this board has ignored. These are not insignificant concerns that could wait until the next election cycle. Childhood is fleeting, and the leadership of the school system has shown us again and again that they deprioritize kids for political pandering and social justice issues.
Hello. My name is Hemang Nagar. I'm the father of a 10-year-old daughter who is on the autism spectrum. For her, she's only able to learn when she's physically in front of her teachers. No amount of virtual learning can basically can basically do anything for her. Virtual learning was an utter disaster for her and so many like her. Another aspect of a recall petition is the horrendous treatment of the special needs community. We can no longer sit back while our most vulnerable kids are ignored. How can a group of adults in charge of our public education system not figure out, at the very least, to get the special needs kid back in the classroom full time? Not only did they fail to do so last year, but I also received an email 72 hours prior to the start of the summer program for my daughter that the program had been cancelled. This is unacceptable. Yet, this has been a pattern of the treatment of special needs kids all along. If this same leadership remains, what will happen to special needs kids like my daughter and their families? Stories like mine are what kickstarted our effort to recall harmful board members. They pretend to care, but never put their words into action that does any good for any students. Thank you.
I would like to say thank you for coming out today, and now we could take a few questions. Yes.
So what's the next step?
So before you are the over 5,000 signatures. These will be submitted to the clerk of the court for verification. Once the signatures are verified, the judge will rule. It is our expectation and greatest confidence that a snap election will then be called.
Yes.
You had the chance to recognize which school board members were looking and proceeding with how you wanted them to be operating schools and which ones weren't. Why not go for most of the school board members with petitions?
As you know, this is a grassroots organization, the coalition, and it's all parents that we care. So a lot of us do work, so a lot of us have to do it after working hours to go fight the effort, and that's what we're working on. We're not saying that we're done, but we'll be working on recalling the other school board members. All right, thank you for coming, you guys.